True love doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes it enters your life so quietly you almost miss it. It doesn't always feel like fireworks. Sometimes it feels like coming home after a very long journey. You don't recognize it by perfection, but by how safe your heart feels being imperfect. There's a strange calm when you're with them, as if your soul finally exhales. You stop pretending because for the first time you don't have to perform to be loved. And somewhere deep inside, a voice whispers, "This feels different, not dramatic, not chaotic, just real." We grow up believing love is supposed to be intense, overwhelming, almost painful. Movies teach us that if it doesn't hurt, it isn't real, that if your heart isn't racing every second, you must be settling. But real love rarely follows the script we were taught. True love often shows up in ways that feel unfamiliar. It doesn't always give you butterflies. Sometimes it gives you peace. It doesn't consume your thoughts. Sometimes it grounds them. And instead of making you lose yourself, it gently brings you back to who you truly are. That's why so many people walk past true love without realizing it. Because they're looking for chaos, not calm, noise, not understanding, intensity, not depth. Today, we're talking about 5 quiet signs, subtle, almost invisible moments, that may mean you've met your true love. Signs that don't shout, but stay. Signs that don't impress the world, but heal your inner child. Signs that don't demand you change, but allow you to finally be yourself. If you've ever wondered why one connection felt different from all the rest, if someone entered your life and changed you without trying, stay with me. One of these signs might already be living in your story. Sign 1. You don't feel the need to impress them. With true love, something unexpected happens. You stop trying so hard. You don't rehearse your words before speaking. You don't curate a version of yourself that sounds cooler, stronger, or more put together than you are. You don't feel the pressure to be enough because somehow you already are around them. Your guard lowers without you noticing. You talk about your fears without embarrassment. You admit when you're tired, insecure, or unsure about your future, and instead of pulling away, they lean closer. For a young heart, this can feel strange. Love may have felt like performance before, like proving your worth, like trying to be someone who deserves to be chosen. But true love doesn't ask you to earn a place, it gives you one. You notice it in small moments, when silence doesn't feel awkward, when you can sit together doing nothing and still feel full. When you say something unfiltered and receive understanding instead of judgment, this is not the rush of attraction. This is safety, and safety can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, when you've been taught that love is supposed to feel dramatic and uncertain. But real love doesn't keep you guessing. It doesn't make you anxious about being replaced. It doesn't make you shrink to stay. If you feel more yourself around someone, less guarded, less afraid, that isn't coincidence. That's your nervous system recognizing peace. Sometimes the strangest sign of true love is this: you don't feel like you're trying to be loved anymore. You just are. Sign 2. The chaos inside you gets quiet. When you meet your true love, the noise inside your head softens, not your responsibilities, not your problems, but the emotional chaos, the overthinking, the insecurity, the fear of not being enough begins to calm. You don't suddenly become fearless. You just stop feeling like you're always on edge. Before them, love may have felt like a test you were scared to fail, always replaying conversations, always wondering where you stood. But with this person, something shifts. You don't check your phone with anxiety. You don't read between every line. You don't panic when they take time to reply. And that calm can feel confusing. You might even wonder, is this boring? Because we were taught love should feel like emotional highs and lows, uncertainty that keeps you addicted. But true love doesn't make your heart race all the time. It lets your heart rest. You still feel excitement, but it's grounded. You still care, but without fear. You still want them, but not at the cost of your peace. Your body recognizes safety before your mind does. Your shoulders relax. Your breathing slows. Your thoughts stop spiraling. That quiet isn't indifference. It's alignment. If someone enters your life and your inner chaos begins to soften, pay attention. That might be your heart recognizing true love. Sign 3. You become more yourself, not less. Love is often described as losing yourself in someone. True love does the opposite. You don't disappear. You expand. You don't abandon your dreams or silence your voice just to keep them close. You feel encouraged to grow, to try, to fail, to become, and they aren't threatened by that. You don't feel smaller. You don't dim your light to protect their ego. You don't feel guilty for wanting more from life. Instead, they celebrate your wins. They listen to your dreams, even unrealistic ones. They remind you who you are when you forget. And here's the strangest part. You want to be better, not out of fear of losing them, but because being with them makes you believe in yourself more. If someone enters your life and you start recognizing yourself again, that isn't coincidence. True love doesn't cage you. It gives you space to grow and chooses to grow with you. Sign 4. You're not afraid of hard conversations. Many of us grew up believing love means keeping things smooth, avoiding uncomfortable topics, staying quiet so no one leaves. But with true love, honesty no longer feels dangerous. You can say, "This hurt me." You can admit, "I'm scared." You can share your past and your doubts without fearing they'll use it against you. Hard conversations don't feel like threats. They feel like bridges back to each other. Even when emotions are heavy, there's a sense you're on the same side. You're not trying to win, you're trying to understand. They listen to hear you. They don't mock vulnerability. Disagreements end with clarity instead of distance. True love doesn't make you quieter, it makes you honest, and love that survives. Honesty is love built to last. Sign 5. You feel at home even on your worst days. This sign has nothing to do with perfect moments. It shows up on your worst days, when you're tired, irritable, insecure, or overwhelmed. With true love, you don't feel the need to disappear. You don't feel like you have to fix yourself before showing up. You don't feel ashamed of being human. Instead, there is quiet comfort in their presence. A feeling that says, "You can be like this here. You don't need to be strong. You don't need to be impressive. You're allowed to rest." True love doesn't love only your best version. It makes space for your tired version too. When someone feels like home, not escape, not excitement, but home, because home is where you don't perform. It's where you are accepted, even when you're quiet, even when you're unsure. That kind of love doesn't rush, it stays. True love is rarely loud. It doesn't always announce itself with drama. Sometimes it shows up as peace, safety, and quiet understanding. If you meet someone who makes you feel calm instead of anxious, honest instead of afraid, more yourself instead of less, don't ignore that. Love isn't meant to confuse you or drain you. It's meant to support you, grow with you, and give your heart a place to rest. And if you haven't met that person yet, don't lose hope. Real love doesn't arrive early for everyone, but it arrives when you're ready to recognize peace as love, not boredom, safety as attraction, not weakness. The right connection won't make you chase, it will make you stay. If this spoke to your heart, share it with someone who may need it. Sometimes the quiet truths are the ones that heal the deepest. If you're ready to choose peace, comment, "I choose myself." Like this video if you're done questioning your sensitivity. Subscribe if you want reminders that love should feel safe, steady, and whole, not something you recover from. You're not late. You're right on time.